Hello and welcome to this new episode of Educology. In this episode, we will treat the subject, the best ways for understanding good technology integration. Good technology integration isn't about using the fanciest tool. It's about being aware of the range of options and picking the right strategy or strategies for the lesson at hand. The biggest obstacle to teaching online probably isn't technology. Teachers seek out educational technology, in fact, because it can have considerable positive impact on students' performance. According to a 2016 study, improving test scores and allowing teachers to assess student achievement more efficiently. The big problem is how to integrate it. Beyond the sheer number of tech tools available, the same researchers identified inadequate professional development and training as the primary obstacle to using technology productively in classrooms. So in this episode, we are going to discuss this topic with Dr. Laurance Ajaka, and we are pleased to host Dr. Edy Hourany, a PhD holder in computer science. Hello, Dr. Edy, and hello, Dr. Ajaka.
Greetings to you, to your guest, and to all our viewers.
Doctor, let's start. Is technology integrated in the educational system to face the challenges ahead?
Understandably, the emergence of the coronavirus has dramatically accelerated the process of integrating EdTech, as educators around the country race to get online as fast as they can. But as many of our teachers have noted, the current state of online learning is more like a triage, a form of crisis management, and not at all like a skillfully managed distance education. What's missing from the in here is a focus on the bigger question of what the highest quality technology integration actually looks like. That's an important conversation to have, because in a post-coronavirus world, there is likely to be a greater emphasis on digital learning, even as we return to physical schools or to take advantage of the face-to-face opportunities.
So what's the hierarchy of tech uses here?
A powerful conceptual tool to think about technology integration and EdTech's best uses is the SAMR model. It is presented in a way to give sophistication and transformative power to online learning. S stands for substitution, A for augmentation, M for modification, and R for redefinition. When switching to an online format, teachers often focus on the first two levels, which involve replacing traditional materials with digital ones. That is, converting lessons and worksheets into PDFs and posting them online, or recording lectures on video and making them available for learning. So, the SAMR or SAMR model can help educators think about the role of technology in supporting learning. Those are the important steps to do so, especially when teaching online for the first time, but in classrooms where tech integration has moved to the mastery level. Nowadays, it is the case. The last two levels of the SAMR model, modification and redefinition, should also be in the mix. I mean, students in classes where this kind of mastery is embedded find more novel and immersive uses for technology. They are creators and publishers of their own work across multiple forms of media. That's what we're gonna discuss with Dr. Edy Hourany. For example, or they are inviting professionals to provide feedback on their work, products, or participating in digital forums with other peers around the world. Good technology integration is about being aware of the range of options and picking the right strategy or strategies for the lesson at hand.
So, Dr. Edy, where does the problem lie? Is it the problem with teachers or students that technology is not integrated as supposed in our educational system?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, current students are a centennial generation. They're alpha people. They can manage themselves online. They can download apps. They can surf the websites. They can search online. They have the skills. The problem with teachers is that they have fear of technology. They believe that one day technology is going to take over their work, and they think that no one can teach better than the teachers. Actually, somehow they are correct, but it's not 100% correct. Technology is not here to take over teachers. Technology is a tool used by the teachers to assist them in teaching students. Students nowadays are more interested in using technologies. They like the iPad, they like the iPhone, they like to go online, they like to go on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. So why don't we use this in a positive way? Technology is not a bad thing if it's used in a correct way. So teachers can go online, they can consult with professionals, they can help them find solutions and find specific websites to train them to choose what the technology suits them best. And I'm going to give a small tip for the teachers. Just always think of the reason why you're using a specific technology. For example, if you need a software or a website to increase your students' writing skills or discussion skills, always keep this target in your mind while looking online. And I'm sure you can find a lot of solutions and a lot of resources that can help you.
So how can we help teachers to integrate it and to adapt more with technology in the educational system?
Yes, I did a little research online and I found a few interesting websites and skills that can be used by the teachers. One of the skills is called quad blogging. Actually, this skills is very important to increase writing skills, discussion skills, and argumentative skills. Quad blogging is actually made by a vice principal in the UK. The purpose of this website is to encourage students to expose themselves in any topic and express themselves in any topic. Teachers go online, assign a specific topic for their class, and then students sign on to the website and they start discussing the topics, either by just posting sentences or comments or by writing a full essay. And the good thing about it is that the teacher can see what the students are doing in real time, and they can interact with the students. Another good point about it is that students can post comments just like on any social media platform. They can post comments on their peers' writings, and they can start a discussion. It's very interesting because it's a circle that
maybe
keeps on.
Maybe interactive classroom.
Exactly,
with
it's an
between
interactive.
Teachers and students.
Exactly.
I believe that the problem lies in the teachers' methods and techniques and
Yes.
not the students.
Exactly.
Especially that they are centennials and alpha generations, and technology is it constitutes a big percentage of their lives. So
Right.
they are used to that, they can manage. The way is that to find a strategy that works in here.
Doctor, who can help the teachers to find this strategy and adapt technology?
As I have already mentioned, the SAMR model can be one of the techniques instructors can use in order to integrate technology in the classroom.
So, Dr. Edy, let's continue. Is there any more techniques to improve the argumentative skills?
Yes, of course. A new technique is called back-channeling. Back-channeling was a technique used by bloggers online. It starts by watching, for example, a specific conference or a new product being launched by new companies, and people start talking about it on social media while the conference is going. They use a lot, Twitter is being used a lot, and they start tweeting about it. So this idea was taken and integrated into the technology. It's a nice strategy to follow with students because they like to do this. And teachers can simulate the same thing, so they can simulate a conference or even decide to talk about a topic for the upcoming semester, and they can discuss about it like a conference per week. And while going through this, students can use Twitter, for example, and start tweeting about this topic. Well, the good point is that this gives a place for students who are shy to talk in front of people and who has problems like asking questions in front of their peers. This will give them a space to go online and talk, and teachers at the same time can post response. Using Twitter cannot be monitored by teachers, so there are solutions dedicated for this. There is an app called Backchannel Chat, so the teachers can focus more on what the students are writing, and they can manage them, and also they can manage bullying and stuff like that. So in case students start to cyberbully, they can limit this directly from the teacher's mobile app or website.
So, Dr. Laurance, how much these applications can help teachers to integrate technology?
In a great way. A great way. I mean, the internet is full of programs and applications that can help the instructors integrate technology in their classrooms.
Dr. Edy, how can they use technology also to promote their work?
Yes, actually, with the increased usage of technology, and a lot of companies are seeking for employees online, digital portfolio is a nice way to promote students' work. It can be either to apply for a job in the future, or probably to go from high school to university level. This is very interesting. Using digital portfolio, students can actually add their work to their portfolio, the research they did, the project they worked on during school, during high school, etc. And this will help companies reaching out for people with specific skills, because job seeking nowadays is totally different. Big companies are not looking for like masters in computer science. I'm not looking for a person with a BS in finance. They're looking for specific skills. They want specific skills to be applied. Probably they're looking more into people who has creativity. So how can they assess if you do have creativity? Are you creative at work? So by looking at your digital portfolio, they can see what projects you worked on during your school or high school or university.
So it would be a digital CV.
Exactly, it's a digital CV. An example of a good digital CV is LinkedIn, and there are other solutions they can search online, but the most platform used today is LinkedIn.
Doctor, so let's get back. Can you give us a closer look at good classroom practices at each level in the model?
SAMR model, yes, it's an important one for an instructor to integrate technology in the classroom. S stands for substitution, which means replacing traditional activities and materials like in-class lectures or paper worksheets with digital versions. There is no substantial change to the content, just the way that it is delivered. The goal here is to keep things simple. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. They have to scan their lessons and worksheets, convert them into PDFs, and post them online using Microsoft OneDrive, as you said, Google Drive, or a similar file sharing service. They can think about the information they have on their walls, such as the classroom norms, the daily schedule, or vocabulary lists, and convert them into digital format that students can easily reference. If the instructor is holding class meetings over a video conferencing, such as Zoom or Skype, they can provide a recording for students who can't attend. They can create their own instructional videos for students to view at their own pace. Second one is A. A stands for augmentation, that's right. This level involves incorporating interactive digital enhancements and elements like comments, hyperlinks, or multimedia. The content remains unchanged in here, but students can now take advantage of digital features to enhance the lesson. For example, students can create digital portfolios, as Dr. Hourany has already said, to create multimedia presentations or giving them more options to demonstrate their understanding of a topic. And instead of handing out paper quizzes, they can gamify their quizzes with tools like Socrative and Kahoot, right?
Yes, exactly. Also, we can use e-learning systems such as Moodle or Blackboard. It's a nice example of substitution. Teachers can take their material and put it online. Also, they can integrate video conferencing and chatting. Also, all the sessions will be recorded and shared with the students. Probably a student couldn't attend the class and they had to skip it for a reason or another, so they can rewatch the recording.
And I think they can post the questions, links,
also,
and
they
pictures.
can post questions. They are called polls. They can send polls to students during the session. Students can answer those polls, and they can see statistics, who answered correctly and what is the rate of the correct answers and stuff. This will make the session more interactive. A nice example of this is an app called the Cisco Webex. Cisco Webex is very useful. We've been using it lately during the quarantine. Cisco Webex has polls that you can send to people while attending your conference. This makes people always awake. They don't sleep, and because people have tendency to sleep or just feel bored while watching anything online. So polls makes them awake and stimulate their brain, and yeah, it's very interactive.
How much these e-learning platforms are applicable in Lebanon, in our educational system?
Actually, and they're very applicable. If we decided to do this, I'm not saying it's easy. The switch from paperwork and paper-based working system to a digital platform is gonna take a bit of time and a lot of effort. But it's not impossible. I've seen universities doing this. In our university, they did it. We have e-learning systems. We have digital platforms. During the confinement, during the quarantine, we didn't feel that the need of going to the university. We were always used to do this.
We were obliged to find a way,
yes.
Especially after the emergence of the pandemic, COVID-19.
Exactly.
I think most universities used online learning.
Even schools.
Yeah, but
yes.
they are struggling, especially
Schools
that there are no, direct strategies for integrating technology.
Maybe
as soon as
practice
possible.
will make it easier.
Possibly.
Yes.
Moving on to the third step.
Yes.
We have modification. At this level, teachers can think about using a learning management system like Google Classroom, Moodle, Schoology, or Canvas to handle the logistical aspects of running a classroom. like tracking grades, messaging students, creating a calendar, and posting assignments. Right?
Exactly. Google has a nice solution for education. A couple of years ago, I was in Dubai, and I worked with Google, and I got certified as Google Certified Educator. The big title of the event was LMS, Learning Management System. They have Google Classroom. Teachers can manage their students, sending them assignments, quizzes, documents to write. YouTube is very useful. Teachers can go on YouTube and search for the specific videos that help students to reach a specific topic or to learn new skills, and they share those videos together. Google has this solution where the student and the teacher can work at the same time on the same file, and they can see themselves working in parallel and in a live. It's very live and it's very quick and useful. This is very interesting. We can stop using for a moment like video chatting or phone calls, and at the same time typing on the same document. Also, group work is easier. Like a group of students can work on the same project at the same time, even on the same file. So you don't have to write your own Word file and send it to me, and I have to read it and add my part and then send it to another student, and then the tracking is lost and which version are we using and stuff. So it's one file on Google Drive shared among the students, and they can work live on this.
Dr. Laurance, do you want to add anything?
As he said, teaching online opens up new channels of communication, many of which can help students who have traditionally been marginalized, for instance. Research shows that girls may be less likely to speak up in class, for instance, let's say, so they may benefit from back channels. Alternative conversations that can run along instruction that encourage participation. Zoom's text chat feature, meanwhile, gives the students an opportunity to write their questions out, which can feel as intrusive if there are dozens of students participating in the call. Also, students who prefer to collect their thoughts may benefit from slower paced discussions in an online forum or email threads as well.
Yes.
So before we continue, we will take a short break and we will be right back. Welcome back. We are pleased to continue our subject, the good technology integration in our educational system. Dr. Ajaka, let's keep on moving to the last part of the SAMR model.
Yes, which is redefinition. Learning is fundamentally transformed at the redefinition level. Enabling activities that were previously impossible in the physical classroom. For example, virtual pen pals can connect the students to other parts of the world, whether it's with other students or experts in a field. Virtual field trips enable students to visit locations like the Amazon rainforest, the Louvre, or the Egyptian pyramids. After reading books in class or a book, you can invite the author to chat about their work and answer questions. Technology also provides opportunity to bring authentic audiences into your virtual classroom and can make publishers out of your students. Kids can write their own wikis or blogs for public consumption and feedback. And the platforms like quad blogging can connect distant classrooms together so students both write and respond. Students can tackle local problems like investigating the water quality of a nearby river and invite members of the community to assess their digital proposals.
So Dr. Edy, can you tell us more about virtual pen pals and give us more examples?
Yes, of course. Virtual pen pals like virtual reality is a new topic that it's very important to be discussed during integration of technology in classrooms. We've seen a lot of games being built on top of virtual reality. Students can wear glasses, or they can even use their phone, and they can start walking in the classroom and turn the iPad around, or even their faces, and they can see as if they are in a specific museum or in the pyramids or anywhere else in the forest and stuff.
Virtual trips.
It's a virtual trip. It's very safe because like it's very risky to take students to the Amazon forest. Well, now using this technology, they can be there without even going there. It's very important. They can see things, they can ask questions, and we can even increase this by, for example, pinpointing at a specific plant or a specific tree, and automatically the software or the app will go online and look up for the name, the usage. Is it a bad plant? Can it kill us? Or is it used as a cure in a medicine and stuff? Is this edible? Can we eat this or not? So yeah, it helps a lot and it keeps the students safe.
Finding strategies will help instructors a lot to proceed with their work properly, and I believe the pandemic imposed a lot of struggles ahead. They have to follow strategies set by educators, by experts, professionals, to how to say, to find a solution to the problem or to this ordeal, as we said. SAMR is sometimes thought of as a mountain to summit, but it's really more like a toolbox. The goal isn't to use the most sophisticated tool, but to find the right one for the job. You can have the tools, but you need the right person, the professional one, to do the job. More importantly, however, it's a way to reflect on your technology integration by thinking about a few questions. How can my lesson be improved using technology? How can I engage and empower students through technology? Or how can online learning more closely resemble authentic real-world learning? If I happen to ask myself such questions, I will always be on the safe side.
Can our teachers answer these questions?
Of course, they are working very hard. A lot of teachers are suffering. They spend hours and nights working in order to cope with the fast-paced development COVID-19 pandemic imposed on our world nowadays.
Dr. Edy, if we want to answer the questions that Dr. Laurance talked about, how can we improve the technology in our education?
As Dr. Laurance said, the point is not using the most sophisticated app or the more expensive hardware or device. I always say to teachers that whenever you want to do anything, just think of the reason why you're doing this. Are you working on improving their writing skills? So just look for a niche solution to improve students' writing skills. Most solutions can be found online for free, and especially educational solutions are mostly free for usage. Like Google solutions are all free. Quad blogging is a nice way of connecting schools and connecting teachers around the world. Now with this technology, teachers and students in Lebanon can work with teachers and students in the United States and so on. So this will increase student skills and their knowledge in different cultures. So I think this is it.
Dr. Laurance, what are the criteria that teachers should work on to improve student skills with technology?
I think so many schools are working on finding strategies for their instructors. If they don't, they will be behind. So I think the instructors should work harder in order to cope with the fast change that is ahead.
How much do you see that it will be adapted in our educational system?
We don't have any other choice. It's imposed.
Can
No
we impose
return
it
back.
on old teachers?
Post-coronavirus period is not like before. Online learning is a must nowadays. And they have to abide by that. No matter how far they go, they have to work on online learning.
How can we help the millennial generation to adapt with this technology?
They have a lot of children, friends from the Centennial and Alpha generation. Maybe they're children and they are doing so. They are helping them work on digital tools in order to be on the safe side.
Dr. Edy, do you think that all the teachers can recap all what we have in technology to use it in educational system?
Yes, of course. If they have the will to do it, then they will be able to do it. Actually, technology is not a tool to fear. It's very easy. It's made from simplicity to simplify people's life. Don't fear using it. Just read the instructions. Like imagine having a new fridge at home.
You can't say so with some instructors.
Yes.
They are technophobe and they are not technophile.
This is what
Yeah.
I'm
To the
talking
extent
about. They have
that-
a phobe from everything related to technology.
Yes, they are people who are technophobe, but I'm not a therapist. I don't know what's the solution, but I think if they read more and seek help from their children, for example, they can help them. They have to see the importance of technology, and if they are really good teachers and they really care about their students, they should understand and believe that this is the best practice for their students.
Millennials are known for being resistant to change. They want
That's
their
right.
own way of things to be done. So it can't be any more like that. They have to be adaptive to the new generations, the tools and techniques to proceed in the educational process.
How can we, Dr. Laurance, make the e-learning similar to the real life learning?
It is. E-learning has been available for all university students.
But some students will say it's not the same being in the classroom facing the teacher as it is online.
We are creatures of habit. Wait a little bit until next year, and online learning will be a piece of cake for everybody, because they will go into the habit and the practice to achieve what is needed for educating the generations ahead.
Dr. Edy, how many years, maybe I don't know, months, student and teacher needs to adapt technology in educational system and to say that it is easy to use it?
Yes, actually, each person has his own pace. They should climb one step ahead and one step of the way, and not do a fast movement. The thing is that they can go in small, and they can go, for example, using one tool, and then they add another tool later on and another tool later on.
Professionalism here is relative, because each person has his own pace
Exactly.
in being used to new tools, new technologies. So I think it takes time,
It
but
takes time,
hope that it will be tackled as soon as possible, because we have to be ready for the coming challenges at the beginning of the new year 2020,
We hope so.
2021.
We hope
Yes,
so.
the target is not to implement all technologies at the same time. We're not looking
Step by step.
Yes,
It
it's
should
a
be
step by
step.
step. We don't want a school that One day they're not using technology, and the other day they're like, boom, everything is on.
We have to prepare the right people for that job.
Exactly.
To do that job, we have a lot of tools, but we need someone to know how we can use such tools and integrate it in the classroom.
So we need the right people and the right platform.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's recap quickly, Dr. Edy, the apps that we talked about during this episode and teachers can use in e-learning.
Yes, of course. We talked about quad blogging. It's an interactive way of communication among students and sharing their ideas and topics. We talked about back channeling, where people or actually students can go online and tweet or talk about specific topic while it's going, like in a conference. This also improves their writing skills, argumentative skills. We talked about digital portfolio, where it's an online area where students can post their work and their online curriculum to make it easier for companies to find them. Also, we talked about Moodle or e-learning platforms such as Moodle, Blackboard. This will take the part of substitution in the SAMR model.
Exactly.
And also we talked about learning management systems, where actually it's a huge system that manage all the learning skills of the students and all the tools that we're using.
What's your last word for our teachers to skip their fear about technology?
Change is not easy. We've been changing in our life since the day we were born, and now it's time to change and move on to technology. Technology growth is extremely fast. In 10 years, technology changed from being that big to that big. Computers were extremely huge. Now computers can be hold in our hand. So let's move on, accept the change, and don't fight it. The more you fight, the more struggles you'll go through. So accept it, read about it, ask for help, and everything will be fine.
Dr. Laurance, do you want to add anything?
No, as I've already said, the SAMR model lays out 4 tiers of online learning. They need, I think it's a good strategy which involves replacing traditional materials with digital ones, converting lessons and worksheets into PDFs, recording lectures and making them available for the students. The thing is that if you want the thing and you have the desire to do it, you can do it. And we have to work hard, and the instructors should be ready to do anything for the sake of our generations.
We hope so, Dr. Laurance. Dr. Edy Hourany, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Laurance, we'll see you next week. For here, our episode comes to end. Stay safe, keep smiling. See you next week.